Mother tree, what is the oblong in relation to your bedetong? So, in that way, your glacier is the song belong. So, cái đó là cho má. Maison d'argent. Anyway, who is the legacy of the Flying Star? The manga is the girl, because the Flying Star is the Tristan of Oblong. Oh, isn't he president in the US? But anyway, in that time, to barcase the legacy of Plantif, the signal of the third conjunction for the academic's result is a phenomenon in relation to your floral. But when your engine throw, next time it will be lexicist the digital, because the hybrid of the lakak is the question of Kang. But in Kang, Dijon, the Mongolia. I know we have. Oh, I'm not gonna say it. But anyway, in relation to our development of the third amount of technical support to Poseidon, the legacies of the death of the sea, you will enjoy Navy Man. Long time, future. So in that way, with the legacy of your own legit Limpasan of the Plantif, the divorce of Anshanshan is an annual leave. So in that way, in the annual leave, the publication of the payslip is a section of SYD include YMD and LCD. And in that way, when we have the SLD include MCA, include M4 long, include 141 is inc.co. So in that way, the way you title your YouTube, Hamsam, Gurlong, not, yes. And also, web designer, it is the Equalangsa Iketatol. So when we have the H1, P, and TR, it is the recognition of Wharton law to repchong the reputation of your Gurkong art. In that way, the digital of your gate. So each place's business have their own website, and later on they will upgrade to sell their product. So each customers, when you look at their website, it is the precious of Lejong for the legacy. So in that way, I myself a customer, money goes in, money goes out, I buy, I share, we all do. But we need to balance our economy. So when we balance our economy, we save ourselves for extra bits to do and buy what we like. So based upon his funny in SYD, the nipple ripple is the worm of the river. Son Moses, in relation to your movie, who does that but the ocean? But the secret snake of Polong is that the dark, dark crystal. So in so, without financial affair, the accountant who successes into the taxon and also to taxation the file in relation to the hibernation. And in relation to the hibernation, back follow your own copy is the recursive of your law. So in that way, doing the backup copy is a negation of HDD versus SSD and USB mono. So in that way, in the XLZ is the exorcist of Microsoft. So in that way, with the exorcist of the exorcist based upon Microsoft, the WordPress will issue on into the legislation of law. So when you Google search in relation to your reference number and in relation to your stock market for resources, then we all know each other. Since when? Oh, interesting. Since we all know each other, we all have different jobs and career anyway. So in that time, when we offer the legit plaintiff in the Supreme Court, the Iquang, yes, is a question of a swamp. But the Tata by the fossil in relation to the two statues from the temple is the triton of eggs. But if it grows, I really like that outlander in some. If it grows, we want the collection son of pluck a duck, and of pluck a duck based upon our chestnut. The game chess will challenge Mahjong. I don't play game chess, but when it does that based upon Xavier and Magneton in X-Men movie, it is the Thompson of Time by Anti-Clockhand. And Anti-Clockhand is a by and in the digital CMOS. Maxan Culture. In that way, the cushion of law is a session name. The selection of a solar form is that we will get another metal for our Paflang model morphon and engine. So when we create the satellite in relation to our beacon, we will just transit the Detna air to air. So in air to air, when the gates open, the Caucasian will collaborate for further apart to achieve the last planet, Pluto. So in that way, this decision of knowing how Nada Shang Jirirong. Thank you, Monkey Magic. So in that way, back in the old movies when I living with my mom, before I left my mom, in the movie, Buddha's palm went all the way down here, and Monkey Magic just goes walking. Oh yeah. So anyway, in that way, if we select the sun, the flying star, the Shokoshonon of knowing that the Milika song is the available by current sea, air, no, mo, do, yo. So in that way, per country, we need to song the legacy in relation to our own air show and parlang. Because in that way, the country town is the show of our own Avelakaton. Because Mesha's Gono is just our legacy, is that our husband died. Oh. Since our husband died, do we worried that they pay us by earns? Yoy! Next time a bar comes back, don't hurt. No. The legacy of your husband died. Poor bosom. Because his bosom is your grand. So in that way, his bosom is your grand. How come Ma comes in? Aye, well. The magnesia, no, magnon. Later, I'll calculate this one. It's Guanxin Pusa and Tushun. The mechanism of knowing how the plum and pluck a duck is the function, because the song of Daffy Duck is a criticism, but the criticism of law, and in that way, the Asian, oh no, to me I know that I love you so. I am here to be with you for. I think your husband died. Zordan Torrashan is just a grandson of bombs. But anyway, first of all, I'm married. So, when my husband died, who's next? Ah, but based upon widow, Vlokshongsan of willow, the spirit of the sun is a so in that way, cannabis, the Jashasaranam of the willow tree, I've been looking at for so long, so long, but I don't know which one. But the goddess too, because there's two of them, one in the blue river, for farm, fisherman, farmer, etc. I don't know the other one. I don't know which one is a willow. So, in that way, the system of the phototron is also the recognition of the water viti data of nitrogen, and the nitrogen of electron is the plele of locon, and also the generator of CMAC Debula. So in that time, once we succeed the Megana, we will filter the VTEC into the high bridge. Oh, you like it. So in that way, the autoson AKCC is the Virkation VTEC and Alkation Bono. So in that way, the blog registration is the resource of knowing how to G-mark the shocker in relation to Sofang and Dr. Sotson. So in that way, the literature of law is the classicist of molecular cotton of blood langston cotton. So the ECU nearly complete. Thank you. But in the ECU nearly complete. Thank you. So in that way, when we decommission the local law, we will perform the next transaction of the E10 in relation to your battery saver and to Koshotunong, the hormone. And in there, Doshong Tishi is that we will calculate blue worm to traditional defining for death. But the death of imperial is shown. So the anti-hand crown is shown. And in that way, if we conform the next engine, the blockstock of law is that the citizen will plaintiff the scenario to case study the enrollment, no, case study the plexicist of abbreviation by comma and preposition, the death of the song, lyrics and action, the sand pieces of stone. So in that time when we have the plexicity of the magnesium, we will sell the production of the price for the revisit. You know the one that goes just like that time. Just old stuff we used to have. But if we do that, you have to have caution, etc. I don't know what they are. Are they magnesium? Are they explosive? Explosive. You know, I don't know. Up to you guys. But it's for the wizard. So in that way, once we have that, we also separate into the gunpowder. And in that time, we will position the law in relation to the Greek Orthodox. And in relation to the Greek Orthodox, the time shape, time flat, time leap, quanta, quantum, by the Makana direct of the Magnestana. So, price out, wizard, and into of That's all it is. So in that way, with the selective hygiene, we need to program the query in relation to this soul. So what is the meaning of this soul, August Sutcliffe? This soul is just an oblong of illegal. So in that way, the modulus in relation to your Asiatan Sakraksan by the Poseidon is that when we has the view of Sri Lanka in relation to our division, the supplement of the quotient of cosmetics is the recursion of shooting star, and the shooting star is the recursion of law by, and in so when we recursion